A very happy morning to all the participants of Day 6 of our Faculty Development Program on Transforming Education, the Google Classroom Way, hosted by Aachi Institute of Management and Entrepreneurial Development. I, Dr. Malti Selvakumar, take great pleasure in inviting each and every one of the participants here. For the kind attention of our faculty participants, the feedback and the attendance links will be posted in the chat box and are mandatory for both today and tomorrow to get the e-certificate. Tomorrow, during the session, we will also be posting in the chat box a certification link. Kindly fill in the same and submit it during the session, after which all the links will be closed. And the filled-in e-certificates will be dispatched to you within 10 days from tomorrow. Over to you, Sivaranjani. Have a happy time answering the queries.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all had a good experience in learning about Google applications. Please subscribe the channel for further updates and notifications. Today, we'll discuss on the queries raised on Google Classroom and Forms. Before going into the session, we'll have a short recap on last 5 days of session. So in this last 5 days, we have seen how we can use Google Classrooms. And in Google Classrooms, we have tried to create quiz assignments. These quiz assignments are nothing but Google Forms. And we have seen elaborately how to use Google Forms for other things also, like for registration and to get feedback also we have seen. And further, we have seen about Google Form add-ons, which will further help us to limit our form responses and also to build new forms using documents, sheets, and slides, and also with that existing Google Forms. And we have seen add-ons for math type, EasyBib, and also for translation. And after that, we have seen how we can generate certifications for the quiz we have conducted or for the exams we have conducted. And in the last day of session, we have seen about Google Meet and how we can work on live sessions and what are all the extensions we can use in Google Meet. So now we have categorized the queries which we have received from you. So regarding Google Classroom, we have got these 3 major queries, like what are all the limitations we had in Google Classroom and how we can add bulk number of students and how to take the attendance. So let's go one by one. First, I'll give you the details on the limitations which is available in Google Classroom. Again, these limitations were different from G Suite application and your personal Gmail account. So it was categorized like when you come to a Google Classroom, you can create up to 1,000 classes in case if you have a G Suite account. In case if you just have personal account, you can create 100 maximum, in that 30 per day. And how many number of teachers we can have for a class? It will be same for personal account and G Suite account. It's about 20. And class members altogether with teachers and students, it will be 1,000 for G Suite account and it will be 250 for personal Google account. Like if you have personal Google account along with teachers, you can have 250 members in a class. And this is for students. How many students can join? So it will be 1,000 for G Suite account and it will be 100 maximum, and 30 classes students can join a day using their personal Gmail account. Like when you come about invitations, it will be 500 per day per teacher for a G Suite account, and it will be 100 for personal account. So the guardians per student and email address visibility is not available for personal accounts. So I hope you have you understand the limitations of classroom. So we'll go to the next question, like how to add students in bulk number. Like here we have to make use of Google Groups. So let me show you how to create Google Groups and how we can use those group ID in our invitations. So let me open Google Chrome. I have already signed in using my Gmail account. So I'm typing Google Groups here. So if you create Google Groups, it will be easy for you to communicate in Google Classrooms. This will be just like WhatsApp groups only. So when you open Google Group, there is an option on the left-hand side top, Create Group. If you click on that, you'll be getting the form to enter the details. First one is you want to give the group name. Here I'll be giving the class name as a group name. Second year, (2020). I'm giving the year, academic year. So this will be the group's mail ID. I'll just copy it. And description you can give like this is the group for second year MBA students. Year 2020. And if you see below, there will be an option to choose primary language. So there were so many languages available over here. So by default, it will be English UK. So the group type, whether you wanted to have it an email list or a web forum or a question and answer forum or a collaborative inbox. So by generally it will be an email list in our cases. So after that, there was some basic permissions like group visibility, whether it should be available anyone to the web or only the group members. So these are just settings, basic permissions which is needed for the group. So for everything there will be some default values. If you want, you can continue, otherwise you can check and change the settings. So I've given the details. Again, I'm clicking on create button, which is available on the top of the form. Once it is created, it will check for capture and click on continue. So now our group is created. You can start inviting people and customize the group settings, and you can add any topic. See, in this group itself, you can discuss anything, but in general, we'll use this group in our Google Classroom to invite the students or to post any particular assignments. We can use these in forms also directly. And whatever the Google applications we are using, if we wanted to invite these students associated with this particular group, we can directly use this group ID. So now I'm going to invite people. So this is something more on our settings, like how you wanted to keep your profile and display name and all. So I'm saving the default changes. I'm clicking on keep my original settings. So now we have to invite group. So our group is here. Here on the right hand side, my settings available. Here also you can see some settings which is related to your group. To change the display language, like whatever we have set it in while we create the group, we have done some settings, right? If you want to change those, you can use this one. So now if you see on the top, you'll be getting some buttons which is for new topic, and mark all as read. Like if you have any topics already discussed, it will be available over here. You can select, and based on your selections, and these buttons and all will be enabled. See, if you see group members, it is only me as of now. So I'm going to invite using find members options. No, this find members will be used in case if you wanted to search any group member available over here. So here on the left hand side, you'll be seeing options like all the members, or if you want to invite members, or directly add members. And the fourth one is outstanding invites and join requests. So here there is some difference between invite members and direct add members. If you invite, unless or until if the participant, like whom you are inviting, if they accept, then only they'll be the member of this particular group. In case if you have students, you didn't require any permission from them, so you can add them directly. So just click on direct add members, and you can give the email address of the members. Like you can give the email ID separated by comma here. So I'm just giving some email IDs to add in this group. So can give a welcome message, that is optional. Can give or can leave it. And if you click on add, these members will be added directly. If you wanted to invite some teachers, then you can send as invite members, so that they'll be getting an option to whether to join the group or they can decline it. So in case of teachers, if you're trying to invite some teachers, you can use invite members, or if you wanted to allow the students, you can click on directly add members. So this is how we can create a group. So if you see in all members, you'll be able to see who are the members I have added using directly add members. All those were added as a part of this group. So clearly it's showing me as a owner and all three other members as all other three as members. So that's how we have to create the group. And if you wanted to see the group's ID, email ID, it will be available in the group information. So already I have copied the email name. So this is our group mail ID's name. So hereafter, in your classroom, you don't need to mention email ID of your students individually. You can directly use this group name. So let me go to Google Classroom. Let me create a new class because for demo I have been using the same email IDs every time. So let me create a new class and send them invitation using groups. So I hope you remember how to create classes. Just giving the class name. Section, subject, I'm giving a statistics rule and clicking on create button. A new classroom will be created. And you know, right, how to invite people. You can go to people and you can click on invite students button. So here you can either enter individual email IDs of the participants or you can enter the group participant Google group ID. So here I'm going to give Google group ID. So if I search it, it is available in the search results. I'm just selecting it and giving on invite. See here, I didn't give any one particular student's mail ID. Okay, I have given a group's mail ID. So let me check in one of the students' Gmail ID whether we got that invitation. Yes, I got the invitation for the Google group. Let me check for the classroom invitation. I'm just checking on this view group in groups invitation. I'm not getting mail yet. So let me check. Let me check in group mail ID. I think it's getting delayed to get the mails. What will happen is the invitation was sent to each and every participants which is added to this group. So this is the way how we can send invitation to n number of students. So the next question is about attendance. So how to take attendance in Google Classroom? So it is very simple using question option in Classworks. Let's check. So if you go to classes and I'm selecting my earlier classes, and in classwork, since attendance will be handled in a day, in every day, or by each and every session handled on that day, it is better to create a group for that attendance using topics. So I'm creating a group for attendance. So now I can create a question. I'm just creating a simple question like, are you in? So my response type will be multiple choice with yes or no. I'm giving the options. See here, the important thing is you have to set the due date here. Then only you'll be able to get the date and time, like when they are giving their attendance. So date will be the same date, like when you're taking the attendance, but make sure of the time. Since time is optional, most of the time this will be not set, but it is important for the session. You know the end of the session, so you can give the time here as end of the session timings. Like if your session is going to end at 10:30, you can give us 10:30. So within 10:30, the students have to mark their attendance. So you can set your own timings, and you can create as many as questions based on the number of sessions you have for that day. And each and every day you can do the same thing to record the attendance. And in topic, you can select attendance. So all these will be available under this topic. So it will be easier for you to track. So now I'm asking it. So it will be available in stream for the attendance, and in upcoming also due. I think I have said tomorrow's dates. That's why it is saying as tomorrow, but you can select current date. So once you asked, it will be available for every student. So let me check in students classroom. I'm searching for Google Classroom in students login. And I'll open the classes. So here I have the question for the attendance. I'm opening it. and yes, and submitting it. So now you can track the record in assignments. Either assignments, you can directly open that question and you can see how many of your students attended and how many are in just assigned status still. So who are handed in, that means they have given their attendance, and the number of people in assigned, they didn't give their attendance yet. So this is how you can track the attendance in Google Classroom. The other questions raised, which are raised regarding the quiz and all, will we have categorized under Google Forms. So next, we'll see the questions we have received regarding Google assignment quiz. So before going into the questions, we'll see the limitation for forms. We didn't receive any questions, but I just wanted to give some information on the limitation on forms. And regarding questions, we have got 3 questions regarding Google Form quiz. Like how we can get the score for quiz assignment, and how to add mathematical equations to quiz, how to set a time limit for quiz. So let's see one by one. So before that, let me open Classroom. So here, when you create a quiz assignment, a default form will be filled over here, right? So here, there will be an input grade switch available for G Suite user below this quiz, or anywhere, maybe it will be available in anywhere in this window. Just search for import grade. If you enable that feature, you can import the grades which is set for this quiz to your Google Classroom. Google Classroom assignments. That means you don't need to enter manually. But since we are using personal ID, I'm not getting this option over here to import the grade. But we can achieve this using manual entry. So let me open a blank quiz. I'll just show you how to enter manually the data. Name, I'm just setting the question. General quiz. And I'm creating question. Name should be come under top. Title, so I have dragged up. Just a question. I'll just copy from the existing. Since this is we are doing for sample, I'm just giving only one question, because we have seen how to create forms in detail already. So I'm just giving sample. So we have done. I'm setting answer key for 10 points. So if we share the form, you know how students will get the score and all, okay, right? So now see, since it is an assignment quiz, I'm not sending this form directly. So this form is associated with this assignment. So if I click that, if I enter the title here, press assignment, and I'm not setting any due date and topic. And I'm assigning. So it will be available for students. Let's check in students' mail ID. I'm not getting any email notifications. See, last time and all we got notifications. Okay, let me log in into Google Classroom and check. I'm opening the class, and in general post I have the request for assignment, and I'm clicking on that, and I got the form. Once I click on the form, can enter the name and click on submit. I'll be able to view score. It is 10 out of 10. So if you come to teachers login, if you see in marks or if you view in assignment, you will not be able to see, but you can see the student has submitted the assignment. I mean, he has completed the quiz. The thing is, where you can see is, you have that blank quiz form, right? In that, in responses, you can see the score of the student. So this is how he has, I mean, the response in summary tab, it will be available in short form only. So if you see in questions and individual, you'll be able to see the score for that particular students. In individual, it will be available one by one for each and every student, what is the answer shared by him and what was the point he got. That will be available. So you can see that particular score and you can update that here. So it is, since we have only one question and that is also right, I have given the full points and just click on the dots available menu option available here, and there you have an option to return. You know, right, in each and every assessment, if we return, then only it will be considered as grade points for that particular students. Otherwise, it will be still in draft status only. So comment. I'm entering comments. This is optional. If you want, you can leave it. I'm just clicking on the return. Now we can see the marks obtained by the students in that particular quiz assignment. So this is how we can enter manually using the response which we got from the quiz form. And if you want to see the entire response, you can check in Excel sheet also. If you click on the menu, one option is to create a spreadsheet before you share the form. That we forgot to do that now. So now I'm just clicking on that, select the response destination, and I'm saving the response. and whatever the response which is available in this will be available in Google Drive, and there also you can open the Excel sheet, and there it will have the list of students with their grade. From there it will be easier for you to get the marks. So let me open the Google Drive. If you see, you can easily identify the general quiz response which was created recently. I'm just clicking on that particular document to open. So if I see here, I'll be able to see the scores with name. So if you want, you can see the score from here also, and you can do the manual entry in quiz assignment. So this is how we can work on the quiz assignment in Google Classroom. So when we come to next question is how to add mathematical equations. So to add the mathematical equations, there is no chance of adding formulas or like the symbols which is associated to maths or chemistry. There is no direct way, but as usual there is an workaround for adding that mathematical questions and equations. Like what was the workaround is, we can add those as images. Like I'll show you the one I have created for sample, and then I'll also demo you how to create those images and all. So I'm opening Google Forms. So I'll search for the form which I have created earlier. So if you see here, this is how we can create questions using images. Like for question also I have added as an image, and for options also I have added as images. Okay, and for the detailed answer, see for maths and all, you'll be getting some detailed answer to find the solution, and for that also you can add the question as image, and you can ask your student to either to write it on a paper and they can take a scanned copy of that and they can attach the file. Otherwise they can create own document and they can able to submit the document also. So both the ways are available, and that can be captured using file upload options. So this is how we can work on mathematical question paper settings using Google Form Quiz. Okay, so let me show you how we can achieve these things. So to do these things, one of the add-on we have seen in our classes like math type, that will be very useful. It will be useful for both teachers and as well as students. So let me create a quiz form for that. So again, click on create quiz assignments. Mathematical quiz on mathematics. So a blank quiz form is created already. I'm opening it. So in settings, I'm limiting to one response and also to collect the email address. And in presentation, sorry, in quiz, I cannot see the immediate response because I'm going to add for a detailed answer, right? So for that, it needs a manual review. So I'm selecting later after the manual review. So I'm clicking on save. So it will collect the email address. So first let's check how to add image questions. See, I have, if you are ready with images already, there are two ways. Either that if you are good in your own handwriting and you are ready to scan your documents, you can write it in a paper and you can scan it and you can attach the images over here. Otherwise, you can use the Google Documents and Mac type add-on. With that, you can set your questions, like you can create your images. Let me show you. If you have images, just click on the image option in the questions available. You'll be getting options to browse the existing files. Click on browse. Here I have an example for math. I have already have a set of images. I'll search for the question. If I select that particular image, so now the question has been added. Okay. So this is how you can add existing image. I'll tell you how you can create these images. Okay. So now let me delete this question, or no deleting. I'll just delete the image. So to delete the image, if you click on the top of the image, you'll get option. In that option, you have remove. If you click on remove, it will be removed. So let me create the image using Google Documents. For that, I'll open Google Docs. This we have seen already in our Google add-on session. So I'm creating a blank document, clicking on add-ons, math type, and here we have add-ons for, option to enter mathematical equations and chemical formulas also, which will be used in chemistry. Like I'm clicking on mathematical equations. Let me open the question type which I have used. I have took some sample pictures for so I'll try to use recreate the same thing. Okay, so the question is, if A is the 2 cross 2 matrix, then what's A square? So let me recreate this question in Google Doc using math type add-on. So here, if you see, there is an option for matrices and elementary in the tabs. The default tab will be for the square root. And if you come across these tabs, you will find one of the tab for matrices. Since our question is related to that, I'm just giving directly. So our question is, if A equal to, it's a 2 cross 2 matrix, it is available here. I'm directly selecting. So if you click on that, you'll be getting options to select how many number of rows and cells in your matrix you have. So since mine is 2 cross 2, I'm just selecting that 2 columns and 2 rows. You can see the number over here in that rows and all. So if you click on this, select the 2 rows and 2 columns, and if you click on that particular option, you'll be getting matrices like this. So you can enter your elements in these brackets. Like, okay, let me, in our question, sample question, it has us 2. So let me give us 3, 0, 3, 3, 0. 3, 3, 0. So to come out, just at the end of the matrix, just click on that Then you can move on with your questions, comma, then a square is. To add a subscription, you can go to General tab and there is an option here for superscript. You can add square, and if you click outside, it will come out of the superscript, and this is a question, right? So we have set it our question, and you can use freestyle also, like I have explained already. I'm giving insert. So if you click here, so you got the question as an image. So now let me show you how you can create the image using Snipping Tool. So if you're using Windows, definitely you'll be having Snipping Tool options. If in Windows search, if you type a Snipping Tool, a pop-up will open here, okay? So this will have more options. Just click on the new options. This option is to create a copy of image for the applications of your Windows present in your desktop. Okay, so let me create. I want this particular version alone, right? It will take a screenshot of the desired part of your window. For that only Snipping Tool will be used. Okay, so click on the new, then your screen will be grayed out and you will be getting a cursor like this. So you can draw a rectangle around your required part. So like this, you can select the area for which you wanted to create an image. So now you can see. See, it has copied the cursor also. I don't want that. So I'll give enter and it will go away. So let me create another image using the Snipping Tool. So open Snipping Tool. Make sure you are in the window where you wanted to create the image. If you are in another window, after clicking on new, you cannot move back to that same. Like for example, you wanted to create an image using this formula only, right? Then you should be in this window and then you have to click on new snip button in the Snipping Tool. Let's say you are in another page and you have created a new, that time it's not possible for you to move on to that document where you have the question. So you have to be in that page where you wanted to take a snippet. So click on new, take a snippet and save it. You'll have a button to save it. If you click on that, it will ask you where you wanted to save. So in desktop, I already have a folder. So this is the question, right? You can give the name. Optional question 1. So next we have to set the options. So our first option will be in matrix tab. You can select 2x2. Can give your options 9 0 9, it will be 6, I think so. No, it's 9. Sorry. Zero, 9. So this will be one option. And for the second option also, I'm entering here itself because each and every time I cannot open this math and it will take much time, right? So I'm giving all 4 options here itself with some space so that I can create the images separately. Then 0, 0, 0. And I'm going to enter the third option, 2 cross 2 matrix. Nine and 9. And last final option. So before, let me check for the correct answer for that. I think I have given the correct answer in that option A. Okay, so the last option I can create any. 0, 9, 9, 0. So I have given the matrices and I'm inserting it so that I got the answer options also. So now let's create these options as images. So let me open the snipping tool, click on new, select the option, save it, click on save button, and you can open the folder where you wanted to save. Optional answer 1. And I'm going to save the second option. Optional answer 2. And for the third one, saving it. And for the fourth one. See, there were so many tools available, but since we have seen this already, I'm explaining with whatever we have seen. If you want, you can search for any tools. If you don't want to create using these tools, you can write and you can scan the copy and you can upload also. So now we have created our questions and option sets also. So we'll go to the quiz and we'll align it. So now let me search, insert the question image. So click on that image option in the question and browse for it. And our question will be optional question 1. So it is added. I'm just giving the title of solve this. And now we'll see how we'll add up options. Like in options also, I said you can add images. So at the end of the option, you'll have a button to add image. Click on that and browse for your pages and just click on the answers. So option 1 is this is option A, and I'm giving, sorry, it's not other, we should add option. For options only, image, adding image button is available. For others and all, it will be text boxes only. So I have added second option. Let me add the third one. And the last one also. Last one, yeah. So all the options are added now. So now we have to set the answer key. So I think this one is the right answer. And I'm setting points also, like 20 points. And I'll click on done. So if you see in preview, so you'll get an idea how your question will looks like. So this is how we'll question, we have a questions and we have options to select. Okay. So now we'll see how we can set the question for detailed answer. So now click on one more question in the panel. So the question for this, I have an image already created. So I'm directly selecting the image. Step by step. So for this, we have to get the image as a file upload from the student. So I'm selecting the file upload option. It will tell like all the files will be saved in owner's Google Drive. Continue. So then it will add further options to allow the file types. You can allow the file types. Here I'm allowing only images, PDF and drawing. And setting the file limit as 10 MB. So if you have bulk number of students, consider it as the size of the file. And in answer key, I'm just setting the points alone. Since it's the detailed answer, in feedback, you can give the original answer if you want. Otherwise, you can review it directly. I'm not sending any feedback over here. I'm just entering the points and done. So now let's preview whether our quiz is ready or not. So it is ready. One is I'm giving options, and in the other one I'm giving option to add a file. So everything is ready. Let me create a response for it so that I can get the grades. I'm giving us maths exam responses and I'm creating it. A spread will be created automatically. So you can see here. So now my assignment is ready. So I'm going to assign. So now let me go into students login to complete this assignment. So I'm opening students classroom page. I'm clicking on the class. I got the alert for a mathematical quiz. I'm opening it and opening the form. Okay. I'm giving the email address. And for the first question, I'll give the right answer. And for the second one, as I said already, you can ask your students to write it on a paper and you can ask them to scan and upload. Otherwise, they can create using the document also, like how we have set it the question. Two options also they have. So now I have added a file. I have a solved answer for this particular question already. See, the scan copy will be looks something like this. So this is the easiest way instead of creating from any files. Okay. So I'm going to this file from students login. Okay. I'm clicking on add file and I'll browse for that particular file where I have the answer. Question sample, I have the detailed answer. So I've selected the file and I'm uploading it. So now I'm submitting it. So view scope will not be available since we have unchecked it and we said it need a manual review. So now I'll tell how to review this. So let me go back to teachers login. And in quiz assignment, if you see, as usual, we won't, sorry. Quiz on mathematics. I'm opening classroom. So sorry, this is students login. I'm opening into teachers login. Quiz on mathematics. If I open the assignment, I'll be able to see one person has completed the assignment. So now, since it is a quiz assignment, I cannot see the work directly here, but I can see the response in quiz forms. So I'm opening the quiz form, and in summary also I can see how many number of persons has replied. But if you wanted to review individually, you can go to individual tab and you can see the answers selected by the users, students. So now it's a time to review manually. So you can check one by one. See, in individual tab, you have a list box for the responses submitted. Since only one person submitted, you are getting only one option here. Otherwise, in this drop down, whatever responses you got, that will be available. Okay. So you can select the student and you can review manually and you can set the score. So now you have to review whatever the answer submitted by your student. So the file, whatever the file submitted by the students, that will be available over here. And if you click on that, it will be open and you can check the steps, how they have solved. And if you can check the steps and you can give the marks accordingly. So let's say I'm giving 4 marks here. but you can give the based on the steps provided by them. So once you enter marks at the bottom, you'll be able to see edits are pending. You wanted to discard or save. So now I'm going to save the marks for the students. Before that, I'll show you the spreadsheet. Here you'll be able to see only the marks for the optional questions where we have set the answer key. So for the detailed answer, we didn't set the answer key. That's why it is showing us 20. So now when you come back to quiz and if you click on save, whatever the marks you have entered here, that will be also added to that. I'm clicking on save. So now I'll move back to spread and refresh it. So now you'll be able to see the full marks available here. So now with this sheet, you can enter the score achieved by the student manually in the classrooms. So here you can set the grade again. And you can return it. If you have any comments, you can give, otherwise you can directly click on return. So this is how we can proceed with our maths or chemical chemistry exams. So I hope I have answered for how to insert mathematical formulas. See, again, this is my suggestion. And if you know any tools that you can use in simplified manner, you can use that. And how to set the time for quiz. So if you wanted to set the time, it is very simple. Like if you go in classworks, like if you, let me edit this quiz my last quiz form itself. See, there is a due date and time here itself. Okay, you can set. Let's say this is a class test. Okay, so when you will be class test means it will be for 30 minutes or 1 hour, whatever the time you're setting, that will be it. So what you have to do is you have to assign this assignment just before the start of the time, and in the due date you can select that but current date, and you can set the, let's say in 4th of June morning around 9 o'clock I'm going to start the class test and it should be completed by 9:30. I have to set the due date as June 4th and 9:30. Okay, and I have to save, I have to assign the, initially if you are creating as new, you'll be getting assign button. I have to start assigning this around 9 o'clock. That means around 8:59 or 8:58. And before that, you can post you can post the information in stream, so that every student will aware that for today. Okay, let me explain practically. See, before you have set the time quiz, post it to your students, like tomorrow there will be a class test for 30 minutes and it will start at 9 a.m. If you posted, all the students will aware that there will be a test will happen at 9 o'clock. So you have to create your assignment, our quiz assignment. You have to make everything ready and you have to click on assign at 9 o'clock or 8:59. Then only the test will be available for half an hour. And in the due date, you have to set the end of the time. The start time is, the time will be considered when you are assigning this particular quiz to the students. So this is how we can set the time limit for our exams. So I hope I have shared the information. Further questions related to quiz forms. So now coming to the limitations of Google form, there was no limitation for the responses which we get for the Google forms. That means we can get n number of responses. There is no limitation for the response, but obviously there is a limitation like how we are going to share. If we are going to through email medium, then obviously there is limitations. Like you can share only to 500 participants if you are using personal accounts per day. Or if you are using G Suite account, you can share it to 2000 persons per day. And also there is a workaround. If you have created a Google Groups, you can share it for more than 500 people using personal account. So I think I have shared the information. So I hope I have explained all the major queries that has been shared for Google Classroom and Forms. Tomorrow, we'll check on the queries for Google Add-ons, Certified EM, and Google Meet. Thank you for all the wonderful suggestions and appreciations shared by you. Subscribe the channel for further updates and notifications. Over to you, ma'am.
Dear participants, I'm confident that our resource person has clarified all the queries that have been raised regarding the Google Classroom and the Google Forms. Tomorrow, attendance and feedback are mandatory for getting the e-certificate. Please check on the chat box for a certificate link which will be posted during the session that needs to be filled in and submitted before the end of the session. Your e-certificate will be issued on the strength of the details which you have filled in the e-certificate link. All the links will be closed at the end of tomorrow's session. For those who need to access our materials of this particular FTP, kindly subscribe to our channel for further updates and notification. Catch up with you tomorrow.